You find yourself awake again at 2:43 a.m., your eyes staring blankly at the ceiling, in a room that's silent, yet impossibly loud. A storm of worry swirls in your mind, endless waves of what-ifs crashing against the shores of your consciousness. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if something goes terribly wrong tomorrow? Your chest tightens, your pulse quickens, and the more you fight these thoughts, the stronger they seem to become. Have you ever wondered why, despite living in an age overflowing with conveniences designed to make life simpler, anxiety grips humanity more fiercely than ever before? We're told happiness lies just around the corner, behind the next promotion, within the latest social trend, or captured perfectly in filtered smiles shared online. Yet the harder we chase this elusive ideal, the more anxious and dissatisfied we feel. Here's the paradox. Our lives have never been safer or richer, yet our minds have never been more tormented. Our ancestors faced immediate threats, predators, famine, wars, and their fears were real, tangible, and clear. Today, your threats hide in shadows, invisible, intangible, yet omnipresent. A constant whisper that something is fundamentally wrong, something unseen and unstoppable. But what exactly are you afraid of? Failure? Rejection? Loss of control? Or is it something deeper? An existential dread lurking beneath the surface? A quiet voice questioning your very worth, your purpose, your place in the world? Think about it. Why do your worries seem so powerful, especially in moments when you should feel safe, content, or accomplished? Could it be that anxiety isn't merely a malfunction of your mind, but rather a symptom of something profound, something you've never fully recognized or understood? Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a vast ocean at midnight, waves roaring before you, each one representing a fear you've harbored, a worry you've nurtured. As you stand frozen, the tide seems unstoppable, relentless. But what if these waves, daunting as they appear, are simply manifestations of something deeper, something within you that calls for recognition, acknowledgement, and understanding? What if the very thing you're running from is precisely what you need to confront? The question isn't how to escape anxiety. The real, unsettling question is this. What if your constant worrying isn't just meaningless torment? What if it's a clue, a hidden message desperately trying to lead you toward a truth you've always ignored? Are you brave enough to dive into the depths of your fear, to question the foundations of your own psyche, to challenge everything you've been taught about happiness, safety, and success? Because beneath these turbulent waters, beneath the suffocating weight of anxiety, lies something powerful, transformative, and utterly unexpected, something that could change the very way you experience life itself. The time has come to uncover it. To truly grasp why anxiety feels so overwhelming, we must journey inward, exploring the psychological and philosophical roots buried deep within us. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Anxiety thrives precisely because it resides in the shadows of our unconscious, influencing every decision we make without our awareness. At its core, anxiety often emerges from an existential vacuum, a void described by Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. Frankl argued that anxiety fills the gap created by a lack of genuine purpose and meaning. Our society, with its relentless pursuit of pleasure, consumerism, and superficial achievements, leaves many of us drifting in uncertainty, disconnected from meaningful existence. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche also identified this crisis, warning that the death of traditional values, what he termed the death of God, leaves humanity lost in an abyss of uncertainty, forcing each of us to construct our own meaning. This daunting responsibility can become overwhelming, breeding anxiety when we fail to find clarity or direction. Moreover, Jean-Paul Sartre observed that our existential freedom, the freedom to choose who we become, is both liberating and terrifying. The anxiety you experience might stem from this paradoxical freedom. The fear that every choice you make could lead you astray, defining your life irreversibly. Societal forces compound these psychological and philosophical pressures. Modern culture glorifies perfection, productivity, and success, implicitly teaching you that your worth is conditional. Social media amplifies this effect, presenting an endless parade of seemingly perfect lives against which you measure your own flawed reality. This comparison breeds insecurity and anxiety, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. Underneath these external pressures lies something even more profound. Your internal dialogue, shaped by societal expectations and personal experiences, perpetually judges you. This internal critic whispers, "You're not enough," continuously fueling anxiety and self-doubt. Recognizing this hidden problem, this deep psychological and philosophical dilemma, is crucial. Anxiety isn't just random suffering. It's a symptom of a deeper conflict within your psyche, begging to be understood, addressed, and ultimately transformed. What if understanding this hidden conflict isn't just enlightening, but liberating? You're closer to the truth now, but are you ready to confront what comes next? The unseen consequences of your anxiety stretch far beyond restless nights and internal turmoil. Quietly and persistently, anxiety shapes your perception, decisions, relationships, and even your very identity, without you fully realizing its powerful grip. Cognitive biases, deeply ingrained psychological mechanisms, distort your reality. Anxiety fuels exaggeration, imagining worst-case scenarios as likely outcomes, creating a perpetual state of alarm. Confirmation bias reinforces anxious beliefs, causing you to selectively notice evidence that validates your fears while ignoring reassurance or positive outcomes. Over time, your worldview narrows, becoming skewed and pessimistic. Neurologically, anxiety rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with fear and avoidance. Each anxious thought, each fearful scenario you replay deepens these pathways, making anxiety your default emotional state. Soon, fear-driven decisions become habitual, limiting your growth, opportunities, and potential happiness. Culturally, anxiety silently molds societal dynamics. Collectively, anxious populations gravitate toward conformity, safety, and predictability, suppressing creativity, innovation, and genuine expression. Societies dominated by anxiety value control over curiosity, stability over exploration, perpetuating cycles of fear-based decision-making. On a personal level, anxiety erodes your relationships. Fear of rejection or failure causes you to withdraw, sabotaging intimacy and connection. Anxiety breeds suspicion, mistrust, and defensiveness, undermining the very bonds meant to comfort and support you. But perhaps the most insidious consequence is the erosion of your authentic self. Anxiety convinces you that vulnerability equals weakness, prompting you to wear masks, project false strength, and hide your true feelings. Gradually, the person you show the world becomes increasingly distant from the person you truly are. Understanding these hidden, pervasive effects illuminates the urgency of escaping anxiety's grip. But how do you break free from something so deeply woven into your identity? A transformative realization awaits. But first, you must decide. Are you ready to reclaim your life? The rebellion begins the moment you realize that anxiety isn't a defect to be suppressed, but an urgent call for transformation. The path to liberation starts with a radical shift in perception. Anxiety isn't your enemy. It's a misunderstood guide. Imagine anxiety as an alarm system, persistently signaling that your life is out of alignment with your true self. The discomfort you feel is not random. It's a relentless call from deep within, urging you to face your neglected desires, suppressed emotions, and unexplored potential. To break free, you must embrace anxiety, leaning into it rather than away from it. Counterintuitively, it's in confronting anxiety directly, asking yourself honestly, what is my anxiety trying to reveal to me? That you reclaim your power. Historically, individuals who radically transformed their lives often started precisely here. Viktor Frankl survived the unimaginable horrors of concentration camps, not by avoiding his anxiety and fear, but by confronting it directly and finding meaning in even the darkest moments. His story demonstrates a profound truth. Anxiety can guide you toward your deepest truths if you let it. Another key shift is challenging the illusion of perfection society feeds you. Realize deeply that imperfection isn't failure. It's humanity. The relentless pursuit of perfection and control fuels anxiety. By courageously embracing uncertainty, vulnerability, and imperfection, you defy anxiety's hold. Begin small. Question your fears instead of accepting them blindly. Engage with your worries actively, writing them down and analyzing them rationally. Ask yourself, is this fear grounded in reality, or is it a shadow cast by societal expectations and self-criticism? You'll quickly find that most anxieties dissolve under scrutiny, revealing deeper desires and more authentic goals hidden beneath. Shift your internal dialogue from judgment to curiosity. Replace, "I can't handle this" with, "What can this experience teach me?" Transform anxiety from a threat to an opportunity, an invitation to grow. Create space for authenticity in your relationships. Take the brave step of honest communication, sharing your vulnerabilities openly. Anxiety thrives in isolation and secrecy. It fades rapidly in genuine connection. The ultimate rebellion against anxiety is choosing to live intentionally rather than reactively. Rather than letting fears dictate your actions, consciously align your choices with your core values. Define clearly what genuinely matters to you, then courageously structure your life around it. You're not helpless. You're far more powerful than anxiety has allowed you to believe. Every small step toward honesty, vulnerability, and intentional living is a powerful act of rebellion. A reclaiming of your life from the shadows of fear. The rebellion has begun. Are you ready to discover the ultimate truth that awaits? The ultimate truth, the profound realization, is that anxiety's core message is not about danger, but about freedom. Your fears are signposts pointing toward aspects of yourself and your life that require attention, authenticity, and courage. The anxiety that once paralyzed you holds within it the seeds of transformation. By courageously stepping into the unknown, you discover your power to shape reality. Anxiety, at its core, invites you to reclaim your life, to consciously craft a meaningful existence rooted in authenticity and self-awareness. Every moment spent authentically facing anxiety is a victory, gradually rewriting the narrative of fear into a story of resilience, strength, and profound self-discovery. The freedom you seek has always been within reach, hidden in the shadows you've avoided for too long. Embrace this truth, let it redefine your reality, and allow yourself to finally fully live